Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I am Army Piper. This is the Piper Academy Network, and this is everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit, guys. We're going to be breaking down some economic data. I had PCE core data come in today. We also are going to be taking a look here at the chart. ChartPrime gave us a bullish signal. We're going to see what that means for the markets. We're going to go and talk about some data that we talked about a while back about the 38.2 fib. Some interesting levels that we just hit last night. So are we going to get a little relief rally bounce here, or is it going to be a trap and just get more people on the way back down for some more lows? We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more right here today on the Piper Academy Morning Market Report. You guys know what time it is. Let's get it. Class is in session. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Appreciate all of you guys being here. Got a very active crowd already in here, blowing up the chat. Shout out to RSan246. Ain't seen you in a hot minute, man. Good morning to you, bro. Username Bed Reddens in here. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, man? How you doing, bro? We got Alexander G, the mod queen, in here. BC Port Corp in here with us right now. We got Harp in the house. Trade Intuition, T.I. Joe, Harp, Indie Rock Crypto. Shout out to you. Roaming Brave is in here with us right now. Also, we got Jesse Galuck, the Galucky man right there. Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you being here, man. Always, always, always. Buck's in the house. He said, "Good morning, party people." The man is still looking for his pirate booty, man. I'm just saying. Buck is always out there. He's a modern day pirate. So Crypto Gang, shout out to you. Thank you for being here. And did I miss anybody? Ninja Glock up there at the top. I see you, bro. Appreciate everyone joining us here on the Morning Market Report. Let's go ahead and bring up my co-host, OC guy, because we got a lot of alpha to break down today, guys. Strap in, stay tuned. Listen. Sokatano, how are you doing? OC, some bullishness in the market play this morning, getting a bounce on the golden pocket. Yeah. We had a major indicator for a daily chart fire off this morning. By the way, anyone who's thinking that this move is strictly because of the PCE this morning, that indicator fired off last night before the PCE data come in. So interesting turn of events there. We could be seeing a little reversal, but I am not too bullish on it right now. I think it's going to be a little relief rally that comes in and gives everyone some hopium and then pulls down some more, because we still have that CME gap to fill and we're close enough to grab it now. So I got a couple of articles that are going to talk about it also. So Crypto Chef, how you doing, man? Heard, Chef. Heard. OC, how you feeling today, man, about the markets? What are your thoughts?
Oh, man, I even saved a little bit of my bacon to watch the news, because today is going to be very interesting, especially since I also had a bullish signal. It's not out there yet, but most likely we know we're going to be having it on the 4th hour if we don't have one last pullback down. And that could be a bullish divergence, because when a divergence, it is your oscillator going one way and your price action going the other way. So we are about to do an inverted goose head, which could be leading to maybe a little bit of a retracement and then a rejection back up, right? So we'll see. Maybe if Bitcoin closes this up, I might be jumping back into a trading zone. Yesterday, I was just digging in so hard on those shorts. It was fun.
Biz Knowledge, whose mic is cutting in and out? Is it mine or is it OC, guys? Let us know in the chat. We'll get that fixed for you, bro. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start jumping in on this stuff. I want to get rolling in on the news. Let's go take a look at Bitcoin first. We'll talk about that, and then we'll come back and roll up the news there. So, yeah, here's the thing that I was watching last night, guys, and we fired a reversal here, and you can see this is on the Thursday candle. It's now Friday, so last night at close, on the daily chart, we got a bullish reversal. And just to give you a quick rundown on this and what this looks like normally, we had one here, and this was a move from this one here. It was a move of about 8.4%. Okay, nothing major, but still a move, right? This one here, firing that, gave us a move of about 25% to the downside. We had another one that fired off here that was bullish immediately afterwards. This one ultimately gave us a move, well, I mean, all the way up, but initially, if we look at that, it was a 14%. If we look at this second peak, it was a 20% move to the upside. Now, keep in mind, we do have some smaller ones that fired, like right here. This one was a very measly 3.4%. And then this one over here where it fired was about 3.6%. So just looking back here on the daily history, local daily history, this could lead us to a little bit of a pump here, guys. We are seeing that happening right now. We're at a critical resistance level right now. That is going to be your value area high of the fixed range volume profile. But looking at the, that print from there, let's do that. We should, even if we got like that 3.4 or whatever, 4%, that should put us right in line with the 50% Fibonacci here. A 50% Fibonacci, though, could give us a rejection there, and that is a bearish thing to happen. It's just a little relief rally, gets everybody trapped, might get a wick up to grab the liquidity right above that candle and then head back down. But as of right now, we are seeing a little bit of bullishness on the reversal indicator. Keep in mind, though, money flow and volume are still coming down. So this might be nothing more than a reset on the oscillators. I just wanted to bring that up. We're going to dig in more here and look at Bitcoin here in a bit, but that was the big indicator that I wanted you guys to know about. These do play out most of the time. We at least get something out of it. So, who knows? Who knows where this could go to right now? But if you're looking for some hopium, there you go. I got a little bit of hopium for you. You don't get it that often from me. I am a realist. But today, this gives me a little bit of hope. So let's go jump over into the news now, guys. And let's talk about this on the news channel. There we go. Break it in. Break it in. All right, looking at the dashboard here from Into the Cryptoverse, link down below, guys. Love this site. It's quite expensive, but gives some great data. CMC, that's total crypto market cap right now, is at $2.73 trillion. The trend median on that is running at $3.51 trillion. Currently undervalued 22.36% on the total market cap there. Looking at Bitcoin risk, we are almost down into the level 4. We are at 51.1% wristband right now, and you can see that pulling down. The next wristband starts at 0.499. So let's go look at the Bitcoin dominance right now. Looks like the spread starting to close up a little bit. With stables, Bitcoin dominance is at 59.73. Without stables, at 64.86. This had a definitive greater than 5% spread the other day. Still a little bit of a spread there, but it is starting to close slightly. Let's go check out the fear and greed today. See what that's coming in at. Fear and greed today is coming in right now at 16. So we're up from that 10. Still sitting in extreme fear right now, though, guys. Looking at Bitcoin liquidations in the past 24 hours. 227,769 traders got liquidated. Total liquidations came in at $975.5 million. Is it on my microphone? I'll fix this right now if it is. Let me know. I can't see. Where is it at? Is it my mic? It might be my mic. Okay, it might be. I'm gonna go ahead and get that reset. I sound good?
Yeah, I was looking at the recording on YouTube straight from YouTube, and it sounds clear on my side.
Okay,
on YouTube.
Perfect. Guys, you may just need to reopen your YouTube. Maybe refresh that. So, cool. Some other people saying it's good there. Total liquidations coming in at $975 million, almost $1 billion there, guys. Largest single liquidation order happened on HTX. It was a Bitcoin trade for $38 million. Looking at the daily here, a lot of red, but if we look at the hourly, we're starting to see a turnaround here. Let's go down and take a look and see what Bitcoin's at right now. Getting about a 0.6% return on the hourly. On the daily, though, still down 2.6% at 82,837. Ethereum down 5.8%. XRP down 2.7 at $2.12. Solana's up at 144.86. It's up 5.1%. So Solana getting a little return. I believe that is on the back of what was it I saw? Solana futures are going to be offered on CME Group. That's probably why we're getting that move there. Dogecoin down 6.3% right now at 19.4 cents. Cardano down 6%. Tron getting a little move today, up slightly at 22.8. Pi Network starting to get that sell off. There you go. Retro Mike Tech has been talking about this, waiting to see this massive stupid dump that was going to come on Pi Network. It looks like that might be beginning now. Litecoin moving up another spot into number 12, down 0.8% on the daily, up 2.1% for the hourly at $125 a token. Chainlink continuing downside move, moving further away from that $600 target. If you know, you know. Down 6% on the daily, up 0.5% on the hourly, and losing that position to Litecoin there, moving to number 13. Avalanche is down 5.5% at 21.56. Sui down 2.8%. Most things, though, grain on the hourly, it's at $2.77. H-bar has moved up 3 spots to number 17 out of that number 20 spot. It is green for the day and the hourly. It's at 20 cents. Stellar Lumens taking a little slide back, 3.5% with a small return on the hourly. And then Toncoin and Shiba Inu rounding out the top 20. OM, Polkadot, Hyperliquid all moving down off that list out of the top 20 there, guys. Let's go over and take a look at the TradFi side, see what's going on here. What's going on here? Dow Jones is up about 0.6% right now, guys, at 43,488 points. S&P far below that 6,000 critical level that it needs to get back above, but it is up slightly today, 0.3%. NASDAQ is down, flat almost. It's at 0.08%. No, bro, I got out of CAS a long time ago, man. I sold it all for Bitcoin. I've been talking about that for a hot minute here on the show, brother. NASDAQ's now only up 0.07%. Tech sector having some struggles this morning. Russell 2K is down about 0.13% right now, and the VIX is flat, so it's at 20.7 points. Guys, I watched a video last night on a guy that's pretty smart in the stock world, and he said he thinks that the VIX is going to move towards 80. That would be extremely ugly for the markets. The markets would be wrecked along the way. You would not obviously want to wait for it to hit 80, but if it's heading that direction, that is a precursor to what he thinks the markets are going to be doing. Let's take a look at the bonds right now. 10-year yield is coming down, being bought up. It's at 4.237%, slightly down about 0.05. So some people are buying the bonds right now. Let's look at oil. I think it's up. Yep, it is. It's down 1.4, but it's at 73. We want to keep this above 60, really, in the grand scheme of things. Let's look at gold. Gold's at 28.46 and continuing to sell off. And we got a conspiracy on gold today we're going to talk about, guys. We're going to show you a video here in a little bit and talk about this gold conspiracy going on right now. But silver's down, copper's down, platinum's down, and palladium all rounding out the precious metals to the downside today. That is what we have there. Let's jump over to the economic calendar, talk about what happened this morning on this core PCE. So core PCE was at 0.2%, expected to be 0.3%. Forecasted to be 0.4, came in at 0.3 as expected. So actually below the forecast, in line with the consensus. So that's actually strong, right? Personal income month over month came in very strong, guys. And so looking at that 0.9, when they were expecting it to be down from 0.4 down to 0.3, and it came in personal income month over month shooting up to almost a full 1%. That is a very strong it's a very strong earning for the workforce that could translate over to the economy. So what is the fix? Fix DB. Restart your YouTube, brother, if you're talking about the audio clipping, because other people are having no problems at all. So yeah, that's what I got another breakdown I'm going to look at here. Let's go over to X marks the spot. And actually, I want to bring up OC here on this. Let's go to this setup. And OC, let's talk about what X marks the spot has today, because we got some good breakdowns here. Breaking down the January PCE inflation, the Fed's preferred inflation measure falls to 2.5%, in line with the expectation of 2.5%. Core PCE inflation was 2.6%, in line with the expectation of 2.6%. This marks the first decline in PCE inflation since September 2024. You guys remember that I told you, what is the VIX? The VIX is the volatility index. And so when markets are doing a lot of sell off and there's crazy volatility, the VIX will just continue to run up. You pay very heavy fees to be in that, but it is kind of like market insurance, if you will. If you think the markets are going to really get sold off and a lot of volatility going on, which typically is downside moves because we don't have crazy bulls climb stairs, bears jump out of windows, right? So the volatility is much stronger on the short side. A lot of people use it to hedge. So that's what the VIX is. But anyway, we've been talking about the inflation has been on a rise since September of last year. Said this numerous times on the show. This is the first decline that we've seen. So a little bit of hopium there also coming in after the hopium indicator fired from ChartPrime. So those two combined, fire. Let's go. You guys remember this chart? OC, you remember this chart? This was from Titan of Crypto, and he was talking about the cycles. Every single cycle when we have the retracements, what it looks like here. We've got the 382, right? 38.2% pullback. We have to hold it, right? Every time it pumps up, it does a pullback. It's that 38.2% Fibonacci that has been the key level to hold. And if we break it, and close a candle below it, then the bear market has started, right? Back here, looking at the next time here in 2020, this is 2019, I believe. We had, the break retest of the 38.2, good to go. Breakdown 38.2, good to go. Once we broke it and held a candle below it on the close, and of course he's looking at this from the monthly guys. These are monthly candles he's talking about here. Then that was the bull market top and bear market starts, right? Well, the level to watch has been $80,011.41, right? We actually broke this last night, but keep in mind, this is based on candle closes on the monthly. So as long as we're above $80,011.41 tonight, we should be seeing a continuation of markets. If we are below that, guys, then we are matching up with the historics that have said a 38.2% retracement from low to high has been a marking of the end of the bull run. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that level. I'm going to go ahead and put that on my chart now, $80,011.41. Let's go over here, draw a horizontal line. Let's go in and change that. I want you as a solid line. There we go. And we're going to put you at 80,000. I think that was the number. I think that was it. Let me go look. 11, 21, 41, 41. Because that 20 cents could be the, make or break. I'm just saying. There you go. So we have that on there. I'm going to set an alert on this. And actually, I'm going to go to the monthly chart. And we're going to set an alert on this. Add alert. That alert is going to say if we close, once per bar close, if we are less than that line, send me an alert on the monthly. And so there we go. So I'll get an alert tonight because tonight is the end of the monthly close on that. So we will see what happens there. Let's go back to the 4 hour on that and we'll take a look at that in a bit. But let's go back over and finish. X marks the spot, guys. Some great stuff in here today, guys. What was it here? 88 days until Bitcoin Conference 2025. We will be there. The Piper Academy team is going to be rolling in minus OC. OC, fix your visa, bro. So we got 88 days until that Bitcoin Conference in Vegas, guys. This is what I was talking about on Solana being green on the day. CME Group to launch Solana futures on March 17th, 2025. That's my wife's birthday. So a little birthday gift. Maybe I'll buy her some futures in Solana. But that's why we had a green day on the daily here for Solana today. Just in, Michael Saylor says, sell a kidney if you must, but keep the Bitcoin. OC, are you willing to sell a kidney for Bitcoin? That's the question now. Guys, if you would sell a kidney for Bitcoin, put a 1 in the chat. What else is there? Bitcoin, approximately $1.8 billion in bids have appeared on the Binance futures pair. These bids are sitting between $70,000 and $79,000. I feel I need to point out what that would mean for this here, guys. But that's what the futures are calling for, $70,000 to $79,000 Bitcoin right now. this might be the reason that we don't go that low, because there is so much money down there waiting for that. But he has a comment in here about it that I want to pull in. He says, because of the spread of 79 to 70,000, he said, what happens when bids like these appear is varied. Sometimes price never moves into them. When it does start hitting them, it often fills a lot of them before shortly reversing. Keep in mind, these are bids that can just as easily be pulled away, highlighting this as it's insane amount. It's an insane amount, and this is something you rarely ever see. So because so many people are down there and they can easily close these out if it doesn't make it down there, makes me think that we may not see anything near that 70,000. I think we go into it and just pull some of them at the beginning, hit the CME gap, and then hopefully find some support there. But that's what that one says. What else was there? An X marks the spot. Let's go finish this out. X marks the spot. Oh, this one. I want to talk about this one because this was pretty interesting. And I know last night LBC actually brought this up, and I was like, yes, there's the chart, because he does some Elliott waves on Markets After Dark, guys. And so one of the things he was talking about here was the 5-wave completion, possibly, right? And so it says, you don't want to hear. This is a huge warning. You don't want to hear this, but you need to listen now to prevent a catastrophe. 5 waves are fully counted. The super cycle is confirmed finish. I don't know that that's necessarily true. We could see an ABC correction. Normally after 5 wave, you get an A, B, C correction. That could put us right back down into our range of about 60,000. And then we get a completion later in the cycle. Would look a lot like what we saw in 2021, where you had a peak, a pull down over the summer, and then a second peak just slightly higher than the first one. But yes, some people out there, to include our very own Lunar Beaches, talking about this last night on that 5-wave completion. I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it for X marks the spot. And then I want to talk about this article before we go over and take a look at the chart. Bitcoin closes out its worst month since 2022. March may bring more of the same. So a little bit of FUD news here for you coming in. Bitcoin may be defenseless against macroeconomic headwinds in the month ahead, despite the strong regulatory wins. Tailwinds, the flagship cryptocurrency on pace to finish February down 19%, which would make it the worst month since June 2022. After a broader risk-off move this week, knocked it to the 3-month low and put more than the 25% off of its record high. The outlook for its return to its uptrend in March isn't promising. OC, your thoughts on that? What do you think, bro? Let's go ahead and let you bring up your chart, talk about what you're seeing on these levels. First off, let's talk about the 38.2%, because we went down to that level and then wicked right straight up out of it, which also was a golden pocket from that local high. What do you think? Is this level going to hold? Are we going to close the month above that $80,000 level? Are we going to get sell off as soon as the market closes today? What are you seeing on the local time frame? I looked at the daily, but let's take a look and see what you're seeing on the local time frame right now and hear your thoughts on it.
Absolutely. So let's get a perspective of what's happening, right? At this point, let's try to get rid of all the spaghetti that I have going on in here. But so also something important is to keep an eye on what we've been talking about, right? The actual fell through the areas, right? There is something that I want to mention. Yesterday, you mentioned, Piper, that Da Vinci called the end of the bull market, right? There is something that we called out before. Yeah, there's something that we called out before, right? And I don't want to say that we call it first or anything like that, right? But there is a level that I was watching, which was this alert right here. Remember that I told you that if we lost this area, which was very close to Jesus take the wheel, all right? Basically, I would say that was the point of no return. Why? Because we were effectively being breaking this ranging here. So breaking with strength, which we did, right? And then will be breakout, retest, and off we go. Then we took a look at what happened in this area, and we actually refer back, remember, to the previous cycle. Let me show you really quick. Let's go even to daily. So we have a little bit more space in here. There we go. And we refer back to this area right here. Where was the point of no return, right? So also the point of no return, breakout, retest, right? And then off we go. But then what happened here? We held. I think that we could be seeing something like this. Why? Because this was the first cycle broken, right? The first anomaly, as Piper was mentioning. What you do with anomalies, you dissect them and see what's going on in there, and if it's repeatable. So far in Bitcoin story, we are just too young to start predicting stuff. The truth of the matter is that in daily and further on, there's not enough data to create an actual model for this, right? That's why you'll remember that Plan B's what was it? Chart that wrecked everything. Everybody in here that was calling for
The
100K.
stock to flow model.
Stock to flow, exactly, which I still believe it's a great chart, by the way, don't get me wrong, but I'm just not using it to calculate where am I going to be buying and selling. It's just a, well, as its name says, stock to flow, right? So that's why the models that have been created has been constantly failing, because we just don't have enough information. Having said that, all right, we have a comparison in here that we can start using, and it repeats over and over, for example here. So remember once again what we talked about yesterday. Let me go over here and let me zoom in. All right, and I was telling you guys that we need to see the V-shaped recovery, and then to trickle down to then start thinking to breakout. Also, remember on daily what we measured. Piper, where did we measure that pullback on the weekly, on the daily candle? Was it on Chart Hackers, if I'm not mistaken?
I believe so. Yeah. Chart hackers.
All right. So, a quick overview. I'm expecting a big, huge week retracement on daily. And guess what? We're having it. All right. We're having it. So far, the point of no return, it's now taken, but we have a huge liquidity zone in here. What I'll be expecting at this point will be something like this. All right. So, answering your question, do I think that we're going to have a big pullback? I do think so, but I still need to move very, very, very cautious, because we could also be having, and let's go to the 4 hour here, a something like, like a head and inverted head and shoulders, and then sweep of the lows before going to visit dynamic reactor and get back to, guess where, the range that we've been talking about. So long story short, I do believe that we're going to be having a range. Is it immediate pullback? I don't know. I don't expect immediate pullback, but or at least not above, or yeah, not above the 50% ratio of this whole movement. So basically, I'm looking for possible reentry for a long and 81,600 if we get there, but we need to be very cautious here, because at this point, again, we just don't have enough information until we start going to lower time frames and start doing some trend lines analysis, right? And still that will only be holding for a little bit till we start breaking stuff. So far, we are in resistance. We are below the zero line in here, and we are pretty bearish. So be careful longing tops at this point. So we are resistance, not longer resistance so far. Not for me. So that's what I got, Piper.
Yeah, something I want to point out on that reversal indicator, guys. These are pro trading indicators that ChartPrime has, and so that reversal doesn't mean like, hey, the complete market reversal, bull market's back on. It just means price reversal in the near term. So those percentages that we're talking about, they could easily hit resistance and continue to the downside. I want to talk about this. This just came in. This is breaking news here from the Kabisi letter on X. He said the fear and greed index, and this is the fear and greed index for the stock market. Okay, the fear and greed index has fallen to 18 points, its lowest reading since the August 2024 market low. This is well below the 30-point threshold for extreme fear among investors. This is also the second lowest that it's been since 2022 bear market bottom. So meanwhile, the volatility index, the VIX, which we just talked about, is now up 38% over the last week. Is there too much fear in the market? Guys, it's not just the crypto side. The entire stock market is seeing this play out of fear right now, because at the end of the day, people just have a lot of uncertainty and speculation of where the market's going to be going. So what's the buy the dip indicator say? Well, the buy the dip indicator says if you're in profit, you might want to protect some of it. If you don't care if you round trip and you want to continue to add to your bags because you're thinking long term, sure, why not? We do a DCA every week in our Discord on Bitcoin, Chainlink, Sui, Sol, a bunch of coins, Litecoin, XRP. So yeah, DCA still the most profitable way long term that you can go. So if you want to buy the dip, man, buy the dip. But if you got profits, you might want to protect some of them if you don't want to round trip and you want to maximize that buying power at the bottom of the market. So OC, let's jump over and take a look here. What I'm seeing right now on some other time frames here on Bitcoin, and then we'll get into some alts. I saw that Arsan246 wanted to see some Sui and some Sol, so I'll take Solana if you want to take Sui. How about that? Sui. I was corrected on X. It's Sui. According to someone officially connected to the blockchain, it's Sui, not Sui. Just so you know. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah. Yep, evidently I've been saying it wrong for a long time. I just like Sui better. It sounds better. I'm freestyling here. Leave me alone. Let's go jump in and take a look at what I'm seeing here on Bitcoin, guys. We are running in again to that value area high right now. I would expect that if we get above here and do a liquidity sweep and then reject off the 50, we're definitely heading down to that platinum pocket. That CME gap, guys, coming in still at $77,000 here. That we started to close out some of it. It is not fully closed yet. That CME gap comes back here to November 2024. So we closed out some of it, but it is not fully closed out yet. Let's go back to Bitcoin and then let's go over to some of my other charts and just show you what I'm seeing on these. There's that reversal, guys. Look at that beautiful reversal. Last night did one more pullback. We have maintained a candle close on the daily above the 200-day simple moving average. This is going to be your 300-day simple moving average coming in right below us. Currently, that price is at 76,155. Histogram looks like it's starting to get a little bit of a lighter shade here of red. But it is continuing down also on the daily. So this is not giving me much. I want to see a shorter histogram candle come in like something like this and start to show curvature on that on the histogram there for the MACD normalized. We did get the oversold in the power bars here, but again, money flow still coming down. But look at the blue candle, guys. We typically get moves when this happens. We had it back here. Let's bring that up into play. We had it back here, right there. You can see that that gave us a little bit of a push up and then a rejection, which I think is what we might end up seeing. And then let's go a little bit further back here and take a look on further back in history. The last time we had that blue here would it be back in September 2023, and that was the sell-off all the way from the July time period where we came down and then we hit right in here and we went sideways for a while. There were a couple little spike ups here, but we hit really dark blue there. So right now we're getting that light blue shade, something to keep an eye on there on that time frame. Looking here, guys, at the Piper Sniper kit. We are 1 hour targets. Nothing is showing us any strength except for Litecoin right now, and it's not even a target, bullish target. It's just no target, right? That's why it's grayed out on Litecoin. But on the 4 hour, we are seeing some bullishness coming on Litecoin right now and a little bit on BNB. So I want to see these start to turn green, and I'll get my alerts on Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, BNB, Solana, ADA, Link, Sui, Litecoin, and Ondo. And once I start to see that on the hourly, I'll know to start looking for what's going on the higher time frames. And I think that's about it. You guys know we're below the Pi cycle support band. Oh, the channel. We have not broke the 786. I said it back here. Look, we're not going to break the 786. We shot up right before. Said it here. We're not going to break the 786. Shot up before. Said it here. We're not going to break the 786. Shot up before. Our 786 right now currently, let me turn off that magnet and give you that level. Right now, currently is coming in at about $68,000. Now, something that I want to point out, excuse me, is Standard Charter. Standard Charter expects Bitcoin to fall further to $69,000 to $76,500 by Monday. This is a new article that just came out from Standard Charter. They do a lot of analysis on Bitcoin constantly, and they are calling for as low as $69,000 Bitcoin by Monday. Jeffrey Kendrick expects Bitcoin to drop into the $69,000 to $76,500 range over the weekend or by Monday. That is a dip I would like to buy, he said. It's on track for further downside according to Standard Charter's global head of digital asset research. Kendrick expects Bitcoin to fall further. Now that is a dip I want to buy. Repeat there. Bitcoin briefly dipped below $79,000 overnight and is currently trading higher than $81,400. The drop below $80,000 raises questions about whether the sell-off is nearing an end, adding that he expects another large outflow from ETFs today following Tuesday's $1 billion redemption that they had. Since the U.S. election last November, net ETF purchases have declined by $2.5 billion at the $80,000 level. And you can see that big drop there on how much they're actually buying right now. There's been debate over whether the ETF outflows matter, with some arguing that redemptions are market neutral because they reflect the closing of carry trades. These trades involve borrowing Bitcoin at lower prices, holding it through ETFs, and then selling it later at higher prices, often with hedges in place. But Kendrick says these carry trades are not large enough to explain that big of an ETF outflow. Let's jump back over to DuoCam. OC, on the higher time frames, we're not looking too strong on Bitcoin. We do have that reversal, but there's still some sell-off pressure. You can see money flows coming out with ETFs. Standard Charter has been pretty decent with some of their calls and predictions in the past. Do we get a crazy sell-off this weekend? Is this little rally going to hit our resistance levels and send us even lower? I said it. You said it. Standard Charter saying it. Do you stand by that call?
You know what? I always try to forecast my analysis, right? And guys, I don't want you guys to interpret it like I'm just changing back and forth, because that is what I had as a perspective when I was not fully in crypto, right? I remember going back into internet and saying, hey, this guy said this, then tomorrow say that. Remember that we've been talking about this for a month, all right? We started charting this drop on February, I believe the 8th or something around that. Remember that we were still in the range, and I was still telling you guys, prepare for the worst case scenario, prepare for the worst case scenario, prepare for the worst case scenario, right? At this point, as I mentioned yesterday on Chart Hackers in ChartPrime, I'm going to start changing my perspective once again, right? Remember, almost a month being bearish, right? Now I'm going to get started with being a little bit more bullish. Even if we are at the end of the bull market, I could still see a big pump upcoming, not as we had previously. Remember what we had, like it was called a huge overextended ginormous dead cat bounce on the last cycle. But there you go, yeah. But we might be able to see the breakout retest, going back down, grab that liquidity that you're pointing out there, and then so trickle down to that area and then bounce back out strongly to the dynamic reactor. So guys, let's get started preparing for that reversal at our entry points. All right. So what I'm telling you guys, not that Bitcoin is not going to go lower. I actually hope it goes lower, because we have a location right there on basically where Piper is pointing out, which at this point, what was your zone called? Bitcoin last stand, right?
Bitcoin's last stand. I'll show that in a second. Yeah, this one's coming in. It's about $72,000, $71,900 on the 3-month heat map is our biggest liquidity zone right now. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, finish
so
it.
do not get fooled by this movement so far. If you want to jump in with longs, I will also try to be long in Bitcoin after a little bit of a retracement, but short stop loss, right? Do not get trapped in here. I would say it, not financial advice, but do not average down your position, not even half of a position. All right, be careful right now until you start seeing that pattern, that formation. Then you start taking actions. But so far, if you're going to try to catch that falling knife, be very, very, very careful. But yeah, preparing for longs might be the way to go for this weekend.
Yeah, that level also, by the way, comes right in line with just below the 300-day simple moving average and the platinum pocket. So right now, golden pocket is sitting beneath us. We punched back up through it. But we are seeing a little bit of rejection right now on that value area high that we were talking about. Matter of fact, I'll just bring it over here. We're seeing a little bit of a wick down off of that value area high. That area, that standard charter was talking about, is going to be in the platinum pocket right here between the 786 and the 88.7%. Those are my fib levels for the platinum pocket. So, OC, let's jump over to your chart and let's take a look here at what you're seeing on SWE. Are you doing SWE? You want to do SWE, right?
Yeah, I got Sui here.
All right, let's go
Also,
check out SWE.
absolutely. Yeah, go. Let's take a look at that. Also, very quick before I jump into SWE, I just want to show you guys that we were talking about this on, there you go, on the 21st and even before that. Remember the bearish market stuff? Even when I mentioned that, yeah, Donald Trump got elected and everything looks better, but this is not going away just for one moment to another, right? So that's why I encourage you guys to maybe take some notes or have it in the back of your head, because we try to analyze what's upcoming, right? And we try to see the bus coming, not just the bus impact, right? So let's go to SWE here. So you know what? I'm just gonna still calling it SWE because it's just like that crazy guy that want to call Twitter X, right? I don't know. It just doesn't match for me. So SWE. Yeah. All right. We fall behind this area of supporting here. Very neat that we came back up in here, but again, we lost it. So it's not about the breakout, it's about the retest. We are still below the zero line here. Yes, we have a reversal, but if you were planning to catch that reversal, that is a little bit too late for now, right? We're still pretty bearish, but our consolidation score is increasing. So if you're talking or if you're expecting a long, I would say rather wait for the breakout. We're going to be still having dynamic art coming in strong. I want to see the oscillator breaking through the zero line. I don't know why my lines are so cricket right now. There we go. And then rejection of the dynamic reactor, holding on your support area. That's going to be your long with a much better prime score, something like 5-6 on your prime score, and consolidation score something around, I don't know, let's just call it also 4-7 on your consolidation score. That's going to be your entry for breakout retest, and off we go once again. But be careful here, because if Bitcoin drops throughout the weekend, we could be seeing this area not holding and going all the way back down here. Also, why, if I think that we're going to get here, what are you not just long in here? Because we don't long resistances, all right? I don't have a magic ball. Yeah, I do have a crystal ball, but it doesn't work. And I cannot tell for sure that if this resistance is going to be taken or not. So far, if Bitcoin keeps doing that bullish movement or even ranging, I believe that we're going to be SUI breaking through, right? And then retracing. So be careful. Seems like for SUI, we have we have pretty much hit the bottom at this point. But if we are in the bear market, like Da Vinci mentioned, these can go much, much lower. So be careful with that one. Let me go over a couple of more and then I'll throw it back to you, Piper. This was yesterday, guys. I know, funny facing here. Guys, we're calling out the shots in this show. Hopefully you guys are following it up, because look at that. I gave you the entry, half of an entry. We have a ton to lose. That's why we're placing our stop loss at the trend line here. Look at where did I gave this one 27th. Today's 28th, right? And what happened with that? Boom shakalaka. We are right now on profits. So guys, if you stop to entry, at least do that if you jumped into this trade hole. And then, well, TP number one already should be taken. If you are not yet taking your profits, at least take a little bit of profits in here, right? TP, and then TP2, and finally TP3 all the way up. But be aware that I am expecting a dead cat bouncing here. So remember, trailing your profits might be the way. And finally, Litecoin, that Piper already talked about this. I just want to say that yesterday also, 2 days ago, we called the movement and played out fantastically. As always, timing not perfect, right? But played out fantastically so far. If you jumped into any of these trades, right, the short of Litecoin, the long on Litecoin right now, you should be moving your stop to entry, right? So long position right here after we break down back up, right? Move your stop to entry, TP number 1, and then aim at TP number 2 right here at your alert. If you don't believe me, we have Litecoin, there we go, crossing the alert zone that we have set up, right? And finally, as we talk about our gains, we also need to talk about our failures. Uranium stopped out, my friends. We got stopped out. This is not looking good for uranium. Still, I'm going to be trying to come back in once again on this area right here to enter with a full position if we get there once again with a strong movement. So 1 hit for uranium, 2 wins for Litecoin, but 3 wins for Litecoin, Bitcoin, and OM. So turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Let's take a look at Solana here, guys. Solana right now is getting a bounce on, I'm looking at a 12-hour chart here on Solana, and we're currently getting a bounce right now on our value area low. We have broke above the point of control. That's coming off this fixed range volume profile here. And take a look at this massive volume node that's here, man. This thing is huge that we just got above. So if we are able to break right now this wick level top where we just rejected that, you can see this wick level 147.41, bring that over here and take a look. That's going to be the top of this volume node. We pretty much have a nice ride here to another volume spike, which is going to be this white line that I have running across there. That's at 154.96. I would be very cautious though, because if we get up here and we hit that 50 and that white line off that volume node of the fixed range volume profile, we then have a really great spot for a short entry, because a rejection off of the 50 from below and off of a major volume node like that would send us back down. Why do I think that we're going to head down to the golden pocket? I will show you that on the oscillator in a second, but I do want to show you where these fibs are pulled from. They're pulled from the low all the way back here in December 2022 to the highest peak, okay? We typically, if we get a loss like this on a rejection, especially after, you know, being such a good pump, and we're returning back to the point of control, why not go down and grab liquidity, 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 and liquidity, right? Market makers like to liquidity hunt, and that would be a prime area to do that. Plus, if you're heading down, first area of support is going to be a rejection, or a bounce, I mean, for the retracement to the golden pocket. Now let's take a look at the other reason that I think that that is likely going to happen is because money flow has got a very sharp decline going on right now. Volume is low. We're getting this little pump off of this bullish divergence that the Oscillator Pro printed, and we're pretty we did get a little bounce off of a clipping here on the True 7, but now it's set up to come back down also. So watch for that level. It's going to be about 155 to 150 151. That's going to be your key area to enter in on a short. You can set your stop loss pretty tight and let it run right down to the golden pocket, guys. I think that is the play there on Solana. I want to jump over here, OC, and I want to bring up, I'm going to try to copy that phone. I'm going to bring it right here in between us to see if I can do this. Let me do one thing here, because I want to bring up and show you guys this video here. Let's copy this. Let's go back to Duo Cam, and we're going to throw her right here over my face. No, we're going to move her over right here in between us, and we're going to see, watch this video, because there's some interesting stuff going on with gold. So OC, you might want to get your hat out for this, man, your tinfoil cap, because this is some crazy stuff going on with gold right now. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
On Wall Street, they could impact all of us, and they are doing their best to bury it. In case you missed it, there is a scandal rocking the Bank of England, but this impacts everyone, American and abroad, and I'll explain why. The Bank of England is suffering from a gold shortage. Essentially, they don't have the gold they're supposed to have. Now, the lid was blown off this because the wait time to withdraw gold went from a day to 8 weeks, essentially indefinitely frozen, because they don't have the assets. So where did they go? Where is the gold? Well, supposedly, the majority of it has been shipped to New York. But the reason why doesn't make any sense. Supposedly, it's to avoid tariffs. But there never were tariffs on gold in 2016, and President Trump said he won't do any now. But that's not all. The math itself doesn't add up. 393 metric tons was sent to New York, but the Bank of England is supposed to have over 5,000 metric tons. This is less than 10% of the supposed total reserves they have. Where is the gold? This isn't musical chairs. You either have it or you don't. So Bank of England could well be lying about the amount that was sent and why it was sent. Because here's the kicker, there hasn't been this much total gold stored in New York as there was in 2020, and at that point, everyone thought the world was ending. Today, people are optimistic. As much as you can be, but more than 2020. But what does that tell us? What do those in power know that we don't? Something big is coming, and they are preparing by shifting their gold around. That's all we know right now. But mark my words, they're preparing for something.
So yeah, I just wanted to bring this video up because I saw this last night and it made my brain start going, it made me put on my OC guy tinfoil hat because we got all this stuff going on right now in the US with Doge wanting to audit Fort Knox. So when you see that and all this gold's coming in, maybe it's not going to New York. Maybe this is a shell game. This is what I talked with OC about this morning. Maybe this is a shell game to move the gold around with what they have available to show the public so that they can have, hey, you want to check our reserves? Here you go. Oh, you want to check their reserves? Let's shift it over there. Check their reserves. Here you go. But then OC, you had some interesting information about Mexico's gold. What is that about?
Yeah, I mean, I remember that there was a news last year, 2014, ends of 2014, where Mexico was requiring a piece of the gold reserve from Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken, and they refused. They said, you know what, we're not giving it away. And Mexico was a little bit pissed, right? I was a little bit relieved, not to lie, because at that moment, they were just spending like crazy to social programs that didn't really have a good return on the long term. So basically, a little bit of a socialist programs because they don't have a good return. Long story short, they never gave back that gold. And man, they are supposed to be a gold reserve like a bank. When you imagine, you go to a bank, you go to the cashier, right, to the ATM, you want to get back your money, and they tell you know what? Nope, because you're going to spend it. And yeah, man, that's what I work it for, right? That's what I earned it
right?
For.
No, you can't have your money. You're going to spend it all.
Yeah. So I don't know. This
Lord.
is kind of like shady, man. I will see how
it's very shady, bro. It's very shady. Some weird stuff going on. I just wanted to share that video with you guys. I don't like to perpetuate the conspiracies, but when you're talking about the global foundation of Treasury Reserve, that's gold, right? And when you got all this gold moving around and you're like, we just shipped it all to New York and it's not even close to the amount that they're supposed to have that they shipped. And they can't show all of that. It's not going to be pretty if this continues on across the area. That's right, man. I told you needed your tinfoil hat for this one. JR said you don't need a tinfoil hat. This is alpha, dude, and it's something definitely to keep an eye on. JR said it's not conspiracy anymore, bro. It's super shady. So guys, be aware. We're seeing this big market sell off. We're seeing all this stuff happening. Keep this in mind. The United States has been spending tons of money globally, and that is all being shut off. We already know that we pretty much keep the global economy afloat. That's how much money we bring in off of our hard-earned tax dollars, hard-earned taxpayer money going out for crazy, stupid stuff. We've all seen this recently. But when you think about what does that mean for the global economy when you take the vacuum and you suck that money out of the global liquidity pool, what is going to happen with a lot of these other countries? And I think you're going to start seeing, when you ever watched the wild animals, we'll go with hyenas or something like that, right? When a big animal gets slaughtered, there's a lot of food to go around and they might snip and bite, but it's not, they're not going to kill each other over it. They're going to take their turns to get their food. If it's a very small amount of food and everyone is now hungry, they will kill each other over that last bit of food, right? And so it kind of makes you, have a little, want to have a little foresight of what we could see on the global liquidity level and how everyone starts to interact as nations to each other when that liquidity starts to shrink up, and it's a very small animal for everyone to feed on because we've pulled the big carcass out of the global liquidity pool and kept it here in America. So, keep an eye out on it, guys. Just be aware. Don't be scared. Be prepared.
I was reserving my tinfoil hat for my actual story here. And guys, also YouTube, this is just for entertainment purposes. That's why I'm wearing my tinfoil hat. And also I discovered that if I pull it back enough, it looks like I'm bald, man. So let's go with that.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want to say on YouTube if you're wearing a tinfoil hat. State law.
All right, here's my conspiracy theory, just for fun, right? The Bank of Reserve, it's been selling that gold to China and Russia and also India because they've been buying it as crazy and they want physical gold. So they thought, well, I can sell them for a premium right now, and then as it gets mined with the profits I make, I can buy it from the golden mines. What's happening with the golden mines? Well, remember, there's a failure with gold. Whoever controls the stock, whoever controls the land, whoever controls the mining industry or the mines by itself, just like diamonds are at artificially inflated prices, especially with laboratory created diamonds. So if they control it, they can strangle it, or they can release it, or they can even say, you know what, we just found the largest allocation of gold in the world, and now gold is not going to be a value reserve. There's one point that we're not talking about, which is gold has value because it's using electronics. That intrinsic value in electronics, medicine, and
the industrial side of it. Yep, there's industrial,
exactly.
and then there's hedge. There's an investor side and an industrial side of gold. Absolutely.
Exactly. That value cannot be manipulated unless something happens, like not chips being manufactured, so on and so forth. What it can be inflated is just the retail circulation amount controlled by miners and also controlled by line owners. And do your research, see who owns 70% of those mines. So, guys, welcome
Who owns them? China? Who owns them?
Oh man, I don't know if I want to say it here, but
say
yeah,
it. We want to know. The people want to know, man. You can't leave us. It's not a cliffhanger. This isn't. These aren't episodes. And hey, tune in Monday to find out. What is it?
Tomorrow. Then 9:57. Tune out tomorrow, and I reveal it.
No, what is it? Seriously, tell us.
Well, ultimately, man, this is such a what is it, killer, but ultimately the darkest rock out there, so if I can say that.
Okay, cool. There you go. BlackRock. That's who owns a lot of the mines. Awesome. Well, that's all we got time for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I told you we had a lot of alpha to drop today, guys. So appreciate everyone being here. I will not be here next week. Next week, I will be in the Caribbean on a cruise. So will TradFi. OC is going to be running the stream during the early part of the week, but at some point, I'm not sure what day it is. I'd have to look, but one of the days later in the week, and OC will know this on Monday's stream, he's going to be meeting us in Cozumel, and we're all meeting up, me, TradFi, and OC meeting up in Cozumel for the day. So, but OC, you're going to be holding it down next week on the beginning of the week for the morning market report. Of course, we'll still have Trade Academy. We'll still have the morning Good Morning Crypto, and we'll still have Markets After Dark. We appreciate all of you guys. OC, tell these guys what they get if they smash that like button today, man.
Guys, please, first of all, thank you so much for joining. Hopefully you also like this tinfoil hat stuff and also the alpha that we try to bring you every day. And a quick reminder to click that like button to share that content, because if you click it, you will always have the crispiest bacon out there. Don't believe me? Click that like button and you'll see that even the bacon that you already have, it's going to be more crispy.
I don't want my crispy. I like my bacon just slightly crispy. I'm not smashing. I'm taking my like back.
Man, no, soggy bacon. Come on.
No, not soggy bacon. A little bit of crisp, a little bit of the fat still. So I like it. It's an in between. There's a sweet spot with bacon. OC, Jesus, come on, man. All right, guys, we'll be back here. Well, I'll be back in 2 weeks. OC will be back on Monday. I might be dropping some videos from the ship when we do have the signal in ports and stuff, just to give you guys some quick updates. Make sure you got the notification bell smashed so that you get notified when I do that. They won't be lives. I'll just be doing a quick recording, upload it while I can off of my phone and my computer. So, but yeah, next week, guys, you guys take care. I'm going to try to keep in touch with everyone on the Discord as much as I can. I will have some internet connectivity, but not strong enough to stream. So I love you all. I will catch you guys when I get back. OC, you got this. And alumni, trade safe. And as always, use some risk management. We'll catch you guys next week. We're about to go raid Dano Crypto. Drop those grad caps when you get over there, guys. Later.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no academy. No school like academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by ChartPrime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. Sound off.
To get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude.